welcome back to God of War.
Third verse, same as, well, 3 games, really.
Well, arguably, we are actually about to start the game, for once.
Yeah.
We finished the prologue in 3.5 hours.
What is this, Persona 4?
Something like that. Jaffe got a little bit indulgent, you might say.
Tiny bit, yeah. I started playing God of War 2 over the weekend, and it's a lot more immediate. I was surprised because apparently I played more of it than I thought, because I was like, oh, I remember this bit.
This is a pretty astounding camera angle, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
That and the fact that the entire game has been pretty much loadless. Obviously, they punctuate it with a lot of cutscenes to hide loading, but the cutscenes don't load, so it works.
Yeah. Anytime we've actually seen a loading screen, it's usually been like a split second.
Yep. Barely even noticeable.
Loading logo in the bottom.
And as someone who plays a lot of PS2 games, you don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
Yep. I remember Blood Will Tell came out in 2004. That game would take like 20 seconds to load a cutscene and then have another 20-second loading after that to get back into the game.
I think that was one of the things that pretty much killed my interest in it, was that I felt like I was spending more time watching the game load than playing it.
Yeah, like I felt the game had a slow enough pace that it wasn't the worst thing in the entire world, but it was still ridiculously bad.
Yeah, and Dororo's voice just really set my teeth on edge.
That was a much more common complaint. Blood Will Tell.
I have a very low tolerance for the whole women voicing young boys trope, because they either do it well enough or they do it horribly.
Yep.
There's literally no middle ground.
I still love that damn game, but it is objectively quite bad.
Well, the PS2 era was it was an interesting one, because it had games that were, genuinely not good, objectively not good, but they still had a charm to them that made them worth playing.
Yeah, that's like my favorite genre of games. Bad, but interesting.
Janky good fun.
Indeed. Unique ideas executed even poorly.
You think you can conquer the Temple of the Gods?
Yes.
It's never been done, you know. Sooner or later, the Harpies will bring what's left of you back for me to burn. The gods hid Pandora's box in here, so no mortal would ever claim its power. And yet, year after year, I open the gate for more and more soldiers and place more and more bodies on these pyres. If I were you, I'd leave now. But I can see you are determined. Very well.
Exasperated Zombie might be the best character in this game, I'm just realizing.
I was going to say, I think he's like one of maybe 3 characters in the entire series that doesn't have any connection to Kratos or mythology.
Yeah, seriously.
Lay before you.
It's like him, the captain, and the barbarian chief that you meet in the second game. Literally everyone else is a mythological character.
It's always the same. Madmen and fools seeking glory. I know. As you can see by my somewhat disheveled state, I was the first to attempt the temple, and the first to die. The gods punished me for my failure, and now I must tend to all who have followed me and perished.
I'm looking forward to the prequel starring this guy.
Seriously. I'm already sold on this dude.
Yep. He's got a better attitude than Kratos.
I kind of feel like his voice is a bit too rich for a character like that. I feel like he should have been a sort of, yeah, I'm here day after day tending my corpses.
Yep. He should be more jaded after his eternal punishment. Okay, before we can enter, I guess we need to do more combat.
Different style of Cyclops, I believe. These guys look a bit spikier.
Certainly. And that was like a flagrant ripoff of the red doors from Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry, yeah. I'm sure some of them as well also have like demon faces on them if you stay too close.
Yeah, this one did in a cutscene. I don't know if I can summon it back. What do you think? It's not showing back up for work.
It's one of those things that starts being more of a thing throughout the series. They just decided, well, you know, we might as well go into it.
Yep. Okay, briefly got rid of the foreground effect. Probably an emulation error. How I miss original hardware.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one of those people who is like, you know, if I'm going to play the game, it has to be on the original, you know, the original hardware with all original peripherals and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm going to play a game, I want to play it the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like, I at least want it looking cool.
I'm definitely one where I think the... Why is my square button not working? Weird. I think that the experience that most people had with the game is extremely valuable to commemorate. I think I'm just being too slow on this. It's just ridiculous. Let's try it again. So this sucks. I hate QTEs.
I mean, you don't have to do the QTEs, you can just carve them off.
I know, but we gotta do at least one.
At this point, it's the principle of the matter.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that last hit is just half a second timing window. Don't care for that one bit. Not even gonna do this one. Double trigger, take them all out. Mash my way through that garbage.
Nope, 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 nope.
Now we can enter the temple. Kratos could easily have jumped around that gate.
Yeah. I remember the first time I played this, I was thinking it was just going to be like a small chapter of the game rather than the next 2/3 of it.
Yep. That's my understanding.
Most people did as well.
This is the game. Real God of War starts now.
I had the same thing with the original Diablo the first time I played it as well. I was like, well, this is just going to be the first time, you know. Eventually we'll move on, and... Wait, what do you mean that that's the end of the game?
Yep, one town. I mean, you do spend a hell of a lot of time in that town. If there was additional towns, that would be pretty impressive for a 1995 game.
Yeah.
Although I think it was 97, so... Boo, screw you, Diablo.
Yeah, about 97 sounds about right, because I played the PS1 version of it.
Yeah. I think the PS1 version came out like years later, even.
Sometime later, yeah. I think it would have been probably 97, 98.
I had a friend who had the PS1 version, but I didn't have a PS1 console, so... I had to play the PC version on a computer that could not handle it.
That's always fun.
Yep, that's my lifelong experience with PC gaming.
Especially when you're, you know, trying to... Like, these days you can tinker all sorts of usually visual details in order to get it running as smoothly as possible. Back then, it was like, do you want it in postage stamp size, or 3 pixels by 2 pixels? That was it.
Even then, it's still a slideshow.
Yeah.
1 frame a minute.
Back then, it was like, if you can't get it playing on basic settings, you're just not getting it playing.
I assume I have to kill these things in order to read this book here.
Yeah, I assume so.
They probably wouldn't take too kindly to me go and read the book now.
Do you mind? I'm reading the story. Thank you.
I'll kill you later. I need to educate myself first.
Kratos is entering his library.
Guess I killed the last guy off screen. Seemed like he was still alive, but there we go. The temple was erected in honor of and at the command of the mighty Lord Zeus. Only the bravest hero shall solve its puzzles and survive its dangers. One man will receive ultimate power. All others shall meet their doom. Pathos Verdes III, chief architect and loyal subject of the gods. Why did he write like that?
Why do I feel that and loyal subject of the gods thing was written while Zeus was literally leaning over his shoulder? Yes,
Right,
this is awesome. Please don't kill me.
Better affirm your loyalty in text, or you're ending up like the zombie outside. You're on gate duty for another 100 millennium.
Actually, knowing the gods, I wouldn't be surprised if that was Pathos Verdes.
Could be.
They do like the whole killing people so that they can't make a better thing that they just made. Like, that's always been a thing in mythology.
Yeah. Always got to start by going the wrong way. This time it just seems to be wrong to do so, though.
Yeah. I remember the basic idea of this area.
I sure don't.
You need to... Well, it's called the Rings of Pandora. So
Yeah.
you need to spin them all round so that you can make for the center. I think there's like a light puzzle where you need to shoot a beam of light right the way through. Something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, the idea is very basic. The execution is anything but.
That sounds in keeping with what I've seen from God of War so far. At least I'm not going entirely the wrong way. We gotta pull that lever.
Yeah, if you see that thing, it's got what looks like a jewel in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that you need to shoot a beam of light into the jewel once put together.
We've also got little knobs here on the gears. What do these do? Ah. Make another big gem. A light-emitting gem.
Ah, okay, other way around. the gem fires the ball of the beam of light.
Yep. It has to be held somehow.
Yep, I don't think there's anything you can do with this for the time being.
He activated the crushers. But I guess we are going to have to screw with these skulls. Okay. I guess this is a thing now.
Yeah, you are literally turning the ring.
Yep. Where are we headed? I feel like I've almost made a full rotation.
I have to say, I do like the sort of sounds of the machinery and all that. They're very good.
Yep. Superb sound design. Like, this is a AAA game, and it has all the bells and whistles.
Yep.
Holds up to this day, artistically. Okay, we learned a story about the door.
Zeus commissions naked artwork of his daughters.
Sounds about right.
And strangely, that's the least fucked up thing he's ever done.
Indeed.
Well, not the least, but it's down there.
Okay, that's new.
Save point.
Zeus point.
Oh no, I think...
Artemis.
Kratos. The gods
this is
demand
when you
more
get...
of
I
you.
think this is your next weapon.
You have learned to use the blades
Sounds
of
about right.
chaos well, but they alone
Also,
will
I think
not
that's
carry
Claudia
you to the
Black.
end of your task. I offer you the very blade I used to slay a titan. Take this gift and use it to complete your quest. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies.
Cool. New weapon.
Only other actual weapon will get the entire game.
Go
Yep.
with the gods, Kratos. Go forth in the name of Olympus.
I remember it being completely optional because the Blades of Chaos are that good. But it is still pretty damn strong.
It's good for crowd control, since if I
Yeah.
remember right, most of your swings are very wide.
Certainly worth giving a shot. As I understand it, it has much higher base damage than the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Chops enemies to pieces. That's why I like this weapon so much. Gave me real Mark of Kree vibes. It's kind of funny, I was just realizing Mark of Kree was worked on, and eventually the series was taken over by Jonathan Beard. He was the director of Twisted Metal 4, and he worked on Twisted Metal 3 as well. So, like, the 989 games spun off into their own action-adventure PS2 series, and the Incognito games also spun off into their own 3D action-adventure game for the PS2.
That is a weird lineage.
Oh yeah. Most assuredly. Arkham Asylum may actually have been inspired by the Mark of Kree and Rise of the Kasai. Directly.
I can imagine, because what can sometimes happen is they basically, when a company is putting forward their design bible for a licensed property, the parent company that owns the rights essentially they get ownership of the design docs.
Yeah.
It's scummy as hell, but it happens.
Yep.
And it wouldn't surprise me if that was Bottle Rocket's idea, but Warner Brothers liked the idea and were like, hey, Rocksteady, do something with this.
Yeah, I would say that is almost certainly the case of what went
Because
down.
infamously, the Arkham Asylum was intended to be something of a rhythm game, the combat. It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it would have played out, because the combat we got was just about perfect.
Yep. People loved
I
it.
genuinely don't see how they could have done it any better. And I hope, I'm not particularly interested in Gotham Knights, but Suicide Squad looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope they keep something similar to that.
Yeah, the Arkham Asylum style of gameplay was stolen by, like, every game for a couple of years there.
Yeah, every
Shadow of
superhero
Mordor.
game as well.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor, Spider-Man, tons of others, which of course are just now escaping me. But it was certainly a thing for a good long while.
Okay, that guy was dead on his feet, but wouldn't fall down for some reason.
Like the Mortal Kombat movie, this is the part where you fall down.
Yep. He's just waiting to explode. And now he has. Okay. Yeah, they're firing exploding arrows at me while I'm trying to walk across a balance beam.
What is this, 5th century China?
Surely it must be. Speaking of bottle rockets. Yeah, the way they just stopped prompting you to hold R2 to pull stuff actually feels like they are not insulting my intelligence in a video game. Baffling.
If only we could get rid of button mashing, everything would be great.
No kidding.
My old man hands are just not built for hammering buttons anymore.
Yeah. Like, you could see how much I could not keep up with the QTEs.
Yeah.
Someone mod God of War to get rid of the QTEs.
While you're at it, mod Wild Arms so that the font's less ugly, because that thing gives me headaches to look at. Just, while we're sharing wish lists.
Why did I drop this rope here?
I don't know, because you've got that thing there, which I assume you need to do something with.
Seems very likely. I don't know why else they would have put it there. I found some people to kill. Might as well kill them.
And there's a big button on the middle of the floor.
Yep. Got a wait button, so we gotta drag the thing over here, I guess. After we kill everybody. What does this do? I guess they need shields. That's another classic Devil May Cry puzzle.
Yeah, except Devil May Cry was, well, the first one was small rusted keys, which broke. Because there was like 50 of them in the game.
Yeah, there is a Coliseum section.
Rusted key.
In order to get into the Coliseum where you fight Griffin, you need to collect shields.
Yeah, they did start making things a bit more varied, but...
That's interesting. So the button, you have to be standing in the spot when the button is pressed. Or so it would seem.
Maybe you need to get the box close to you and then kick it over.
That's a thought. Definitely worth trying.
And then in the split seconds, jump over onto the platform.
Let's see.
Oh.
Almost worked. It should probably work.
Yeah, maybe roll back into it.
Yeah, give that a shot.
There we go.
That works, and it was awesome.
That did look quite cool, yeah.
Yep. Would never work in real life, but
You get cut in half by the rotating platform.
yeah. We're going to start criticizing what is unrealistic about the God of War series. We're going to be here for quite a while.
Unrealistic, but biblically accurate.
I refuse to use the block button, so you just have to try and survive the onslaught.
Block button's
Regular
practically
enemies.
useless until you get a good counter anyway.
Yep.
Well, you should check how much you need to upgrade the sword.
Yeah.
Imagine you might not be too far off it.
I might have it right now, yeah. I certainly don't have it at this exact moment. Thank you, checkpoints.
Well, that's not too bad.
You can also switch the weapons on the fly, so it might even be possible to combo them together. Devil May Cry 3 style.
Yeah, I remember it was possible, but it kind of felt like it was an oversight rather than intended to be.
Yeah, it does seem to have like a pretty slow animation when you switch weapons.
Yeah. It's like it felt more like an exploit than intended gameplay. They did give you that more of an option as the games went on, though.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of difficult to tell if that was, again, intended or if it was just, well, everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, like the whole thing with God of War is you use the Blades of Chaos, and that's it. That's the signature thing in God of War. You have your huge sweeping attacks that cover way too much space, so you basically don't have to aim anything.
I mean, the third game, every weapon you get is basically a variation on the Blades of Chaos.
Yep. That's what made God of War so easy to rip off by people who were much more inept at game design than the developers of God of War. The fact that you didn't have to make precise weapons. You could just cover basically the entire arena with every swing. And there you go. Still good and satisfying.
Another thing that the game did which really annoyed me was enemies on higher difficulties. I was used to Devil May Cry, where the harder the difficulty, the more dangerous the enemies get. You know, they have more attacks, they use them more cleverly. Whereas in this, it's just higher damage numbers and more health.
Oh yeah.
Because the first time I beat this, I went into New Game Plus, full health, almost everything fully upgraded, and everything just took like 3/4 of my health off with every hit.
Yeah. There it is. Blade of Artemis, 3750. I am so close. So damn close. That is annoying. Couple more kills. Gold shield. Let's steal it. Oh, you forgot to put a bag of sand in its place.
No!
And you get chased by a boulder. I probably want to fall down here, but just in case. See if any prizes lay in wait. Further down the rafters.
Looks like there might be.
There's something over here. Red orbs.
Hey.
It should be more than the, 70 that I need for a level up.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, yes. 4K. Let's just juice up our new sword for the next minute.
I think with this, you just get more damage and longer combos.
Hope so. I need more damage. Yep, blade power increase. Okay. I'm happy with that. That's all I really want. Like, the weapons, the new moves that they gave me when I upgraded the Blades of Chaos were garbage. Never used them. Also makes my sword that much shinier. Look at that.
As it mirrors the edge of the actual edge of the blades look a lot more pronounced.
Yeah, let's get a real good look at this thing in the fixed camera.
Yeah. Like, the actual honed edge of the blade looks shinier and sharper.
Yep. They very well may have spruced out the model. 10,000 for the next level up. I don't see myself leveling up the spells, so that's what we're probably going for.
Yeah.
I think I might need to grab this from above, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so.
Slide down like a fireman's pole.
Remember the magic in general just not being as good as it could have been?
Yeah. I mean, it's good, which is why I probably don't need to upgrade it.
Yeah. It's just that the upgrades don't really... they don't seem to be as useful as your weapon attacks.
Yeah. It's good for crowd control, but this is not like a spells game. This is definitely a swords game.
Second and third games are definitely the spells and abilities you get they're much better. It feels like they received an overhaul because they were like, well, no one uses anything but the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah. Certainly in this game, why would anyone use the Blade of Artemis that I'm using now? It's visually impressive, but have to be a real nerd to want to use it. Fortunately, I'm a real
Yeah, you
nerd.
do.
Exactly. Get the hell out of here. Oh my god, another one. This takes so much stick waggling.
Kratos just has the worst fans. They're so clingy.
And the worst part is this is like infinitely spawning enemies, so it's not like we'll eventually run out of them. Just need to keep slashing them until we get far enough that we don't have to worry about it anymore. Need these rope segments.
Did one of those demon soldiers just bounce on the head of the other?
Possibly, yeah.
It looked like a Mario jump for a second.
Gonna open this real quick. You guys block one another from getting to me. Thank you. Look at this pinata. He's not dying. Then he finally fell apart. Critical existence failure.
Wonder if that was because he was sort of still half stuck in the air.
Yeah, he might have been in between states in the game code.
Because you can't really use anything but the Blade of Chaos on climbing segments.
Yeah. Probably a glitch. Okay, this is closing in on us.
Oh yeah, I remember this bit.
They're only throwing basic enemies at me right now.
Yeah. This bit
Unarmored
is
guys.
very slow, but this is basically like this fight might as well be a mini boss by itself. Because there's just so many enemies on the screen at one time.
There's a lot of guys. Time for Poseidon.
Also, don't try and do QTEs on anyone because it takes up way too much time.
Yep. Nice thing about the sword is you cannot activate QTEs. There's no grab button when I'm holding the sword. Grab button is just another form of attack. It slices through enemies. Good stuff. Probably figure out how to do that launching attack, because that sent everybody out of my way for a good long while. There it is. I think it's 2 triangles in a row.
Yeah, and in this series, heavy attacks tend to be your launchers.
Yeah. Oh. Just switched on me at the last second.
Okay, so you could get double magic there in theory. That seems pointless.
I'm sure there was a better way to handle the cycling chests. Game is slow-paced enough without having to wait for what flavor of chest you want.
Yep.
The whole game is extremely deliberate. We are doing exactly what the game wants us to do at all times.
Yeah.
At the pace it wants us.
I was watching a speed run of this game, and in order to get it done in under like 5 or 6 hours, massive amounts of glitching and F-bounds are required.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine, but surely there are points where you can like go through walls and stuff.
The very first thing is I think it's like the first 5 or so minutes. The guy does an out of bounds glitch, which lets him literally swim through the air.
Nice.
I think it's right at as you get your first magic attack, which because he doesn't complete the challenge, grants him infinite magic throughout the rest of the game.
Of course.
So anytime there's more than like 3 guys on screen, he just spams Poseidon Rage. Helps that it was also playing it on easy and had one of the new Game Plus outfits.
Yep, that's speedrun for you. I mean, it would be unwise to up the challenge level.
Yeah.
They have categories for that, but it's usually not worth it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see a 100% glitchless run. Now,
Yep.
that's just cheating.
There are categories for basically every game that are like 13, 40 hours long, but they're certainly less popular than the 80% categories.
If I remember, one of the longest is Final Fantasy 12, 100%. And when I say 100%, I mean like all items, all all subquests, hunts, the entire bestiary filled, which I think is clocks in somewhere around 120, 150 hours, real time.
Yeah. Yep. The longest I've seen, it's recorded, and you can find the evidence of it, is a game called Spider, Rite of the Shrouded something or other. Very obscure game. The 100% category speedrun, and it is a speedrun. It clocks in at 524 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah. Of continuous gameplay. Fully recorded for verification purposes. It has a system whereby different events will occur based on real-world weather. So the player had to wait for actual real-world weather conditions to line up in order to do 100%.
So I was going to say the longest one I remember is a GameCube game called Batten Kaitos.
Yeah, that's a famously extremely long one as well.
Is you can you've got cards which change and evolve based on various conditions, like how many times you've used it, real world or in-game play time, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of them requires like a week's worth of gameplay in order to, I think it's like fresh milk, which changes into spoiled milk, which changes into yogurt, which changes into cheese, which changes into aged cheese. And it requires about 100 hours by itself. So I think one of the speedruns, one of the 100% speedruns was like, okay, so this takes like 150 hours or so. So we'll just get to the end, and whatever time I get, we'll add 150 hours onto it.
That makes sense.
I think the Speed Demos Archive or whoever it was just like, yeah, we'll go with that, we'll accept it. We don't want you actually dying to prove this. And no one wants to sit through 100 odd hours of gameplay footage just to make sure that you did it legit.
Yeah, that's the verification part, which they make a lot of concessions for the sake of verification.
Yeah. Because you don't want anyone dying.
I mean, you would think, but speedrunners are a certain sort, yeah.
Speedrunning requires a certain sort of mental ability too.
Yep. There's the kind of people who are like, everything has to be actual hardware, original peripherals, all that stuff.
Yep. Unless it's tool assisted, which is a completely different deal.
It sure is. That's all about doing stuff that humans literally can't.
But even then, you've got stuff like Taskbot, which runs on real hardware.
Yep.
Remember, this room took me forever because there's a very nasty trap in here.
Yeah, there's some kind of gimmick occurring. There it is.
That's it.
Yep. I saw it coming. I knew something was going to happen with that floor. There was a reason it was shaking around.
I think it gives you a 3 count and then it drops. So you've got something like 90 seconds to kill everything in the room.
Fair enough. I think I was using the Blades of Chaos there, which might have been my downfall.
Yep.
Although if I'm into the ground, I'm not going to be doing too much. Plume of
I knew
Prometheus.
there was a certain attack you needed to do to destroy the shield. But I think you can only do that with blades.
That sucks. Also, the first time through it didn't even tell me that.
You must have just been doing it automatically.
Yeah, I think that is my go-to attack.
Yeah.
Square, square, triangle.
Square, square, triangle.
It's very, very reliable. Does a lot of damage, covers a lot of room.
It works in like 90% of these games. Light attack, finisher. That's how you do it.
Now we can switch to damage. And get dodged by the sirens anyway. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, when they get knocked down, they open themselves up to a million consecutive hits. And then we fall and die. If I kept my combo going, I would have been
Destroy
fine.
the shields first.
Yeah. That's how it's going to have to be, unfortunately. Excuse me, fellow.
Mind if I cut in?
I got a gimmick fight to take care of. There they all go.
At least it's generous with the taking away the shields.
Yeah, the hitbox is gigantic.
Actually, a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. It wants them gone. Probably should not do QTEs. The animation was probably too long and didn't even get us a kill.
Plus, it's not like the later games where it gives you additional magic or anything.
Yeah. There's another one. Combo the shit out of her. Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
Open up. Another siren. Classic. Gotta be a close one. That was the end.
Would have had it if it wasn't for the fact she spawned at the other end of the arena.
Yep. I will activate Zeus's whatever the hell and get ready to snipe them when the time comes.
Or you've got go Rage of the Gods.
Yeah, but I gotta break these shields first. There they go. And then they should completely destroy absolutely everybody.
I think it's fair.
Sirens can still dodge through it, of course, but only for so long. Now. They can't dodge Zeus power. Mercifully.
There we go.
Yep. That was some bullshit. But we were able to cheese it. That was called the Handle of Atlas. It's a ridiculous name. I assume I'm supposed to go down, like over here where this vein is. Don't necessarily want to risk it, because if I'm wrong, it'd be bad news.
It usually gives you a checkpoint after every major combat encounter anyway.
Yeah. It is hard to lose significant amounts of progress, but Just seems ridiculous to do a blind jump after all that. Send us right back down to the bottom, though. Is this a thing? Apparently not.
Nope. It looks like it should be.
Switch to easy mode. The most brutal own.
Reminds me of the Penny Arcade strip where they were when Devil May Cry first came out.
Yep.
Where sitting on the sofa and he just keeps dying, and the prompt for easy mode comes up, and one of the characters just says, "Hey, keep going. See if you can unlock ultimate fucking bitch mode."
Okay, this has to be something. I just screwed up the jump or something.
Hey.
Yep. It's just a secret, it looks like.
And hopefully it's not going to be as awkward getting back.
Yep.
Ooh, one of each. Not bad.
Yeah. Also, dying appears to have refilled my Rage of the Gods meter. That's a nifty exploit. Is there something over here? Of course not. The fact that the camera angle switched seems to indicate that you gotta go this way. Controlled by the Crushers.
Of course they all have different timing.
Don't even do very much, it's just an annoyance. Getting our bones smashed. Giant machinery.
Kratos on 8, time for your 3 a.m. bone smashing.
Now where does this fancy handle go? Hold this once. That opens one side.
You may have to take it back to the central rings, but...
Sometimes when the camera is facing towards you while you're going down a hallway, that means you have fucked up and are going the wrong way. And other times it doesn't. We're already back to this spot.
Yeah. It's especially egregious with God of War because a lot of the time they just do something because it's a nice camera angle.
Yep. The fixed camera
like,
angles.
Whether or not you're actually making progress seems completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
Also, hello, yes, we are playing God of War. Very much a mixed bag, as a lot of games have come along in the years since and done better. But as far as gaming DNA goes, it's interesting to see what it does and how it's changed over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. As a thing, I think it's always worth a revisit to see how it holds up in this day and age. Regardless of what day and age that is. Okay, there's another thing. Arbitrarily in the center of this rolling death maze.
Rather than, I don't know, the opposite side of where the first one was, where it would actually make sense.
It would make sense nowhere. Ugh. And it's time.
Seriously?
These are the real blades of chaos. The ultimate weapon, a test of patience.
Joke's on you, as you say, have none.
Yep. Okay, that sort of worked. Luckily, it didn't let me just jump in the pit.
Yay, I got through. I
certainly tried. There we go. Sometimes you get to hold R2 and that'll lift the thing up. Other times you need to hammer R2.
Yeah, that was something that they changed for the second game onwards. You just hold R2 to do things.
I have the handle. So that clearly is Alice. Can't get through that gate, or can I? Sort of. Maybe I need another piece in order to put the handle in or something? I don't know.
Yeah, you've got the crank handle of Atlas, and now you need the grip shaft of Apollo or something.
I'd believe it. Okay. This looks like something.
Oh, yes, this lifts up the boulder.
Oh, that pushes the boulder when it is
yeah,
lifted.
that's it.
So I did come here prematurely. Yeah, I don't have a crank handle.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? Yep.
Okay.
Damn you, Kratos. Dodge my attack if you want. Wonderful. Here's a good sign. Bad guys. Totally pointless bad guys.
Like, hi, we're here now.
Yep. You wasted enough time getting the handle twice. Now you need to waste even more before we'll let you use it.
This is God of War. If a thing's worth doing once, it's worth doing 7 or 8 more times.
That's true. Sometimes you just gotta do the same fetch quest twice, or you wouldn't truly appreciate the handle of Atlas and its full majesty.
Just imagining some designer sitting there going, enjoy this, you fucking pricks.
Yep. Which, as with most character models, looks like garbage. The fact that it's blown up to 10 times the size of all the other character models makes it look even worse.
I mean, never mind the fact that all these jars are basically hexagonal.
Yep.
It was a different time. We were more willing to put up with crap back then.
It's true. Like, this is all a matter of the 20 years that have gone by since this game came out, because this did all look phenomenal at the time.
Yeah. This, like, every magazine and website at the time was like, this is the most cinematic game that has ever existed. I don't see how anyone can possibly top it.
I would say it is still cinematic to a fault.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Wonder if they put enough bad guys in that hallway. Glad they checkpointed like immediately after I did all the handle
It's
turning.
like now they'll put in a checkpoint.
Bring out the good weapon.
I was going to say, you're still using the blades as well.
Yeah, because it's basic zombie soldiers, but they put so many, it didn't matter. It could be as basic as they wanted.
The original Tomb Raider. Back when you could count the polygons in Lara Croft's chest.
Yep. And they were the most famous thing in video game history.
I remember seeing a thing on Twitter where someone, it was like some artist or another, I forget their name, but they were saying, hey, give me suggestions for stuff to draw. And someone said they wanted a new drawing of Lara Croft as she looked in the original game. So they did that, polygons and all.
Hey, you gotta.
Hideously polygonal Lara Croft pulling up a hideously polygonal top with like 3 polygons of nipple.
It's the nude mod we've all been waiting for.
I was just like, I appreciate the commitment to a bit.
Finally get this ball rolling. We didn't even use the log. The statue itself did all the hurling.
And the way he lifted it up looked incredibly painful.
Oh yeah. Atlas definitely just threw his back out.
His torso was stretched to the length of a cat.
Yep. He immediately passed out from the effort.
And my back's been killing me for the last week or so. I can't say I blame him.
Exactly, yeah. I feel you, Atlas.
And now he's spent.
Yep. He's gonna lie there dead for the rest of eternity.
I can't remember if you actually meet the real Atlas in any of the games.
Seems like you
Don't think
must.
you do.
Yeah. I seem to recall something like climbing a gigantic globe, which is in the hands of Atlas. Might be a false memory.
You do in 3. You sure you're not thinking of Cronus? Because one of the best moment in the game is clambering all over him.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Oh yes, this is Pathos Verde the Third, or one of his architects.
I thought we were going for the sword, but we got plenty of swords, so
Yeah.
steal a skull.
Aye, Sun's head. Yeah,
Yep.
you get his skull as well, and both of them seem to be made out of taffy because they stretch.
Yep. That must be Pathos Verde the Fourth.
No, it's in a weird twist. It's Pathos Verde the Third Junior. Not quite sure how that works, but you know, Grace is different.
Nothing in the foreground, always gotta check.
What was his spine made of? Laffy Taffy.
Yep.
Laffy Taffy and rubber bands, judging by the stretching noises.
Yep. They were the progenitors of the Stretch Armstrong family.
The wrecked bodies of those who had gone in search of Pandora's box lay before him, and at once Kratos knew who was responsible. For this was not the first time he'd seen the ruin Ares and his minions had left in their wake. Kratos had experienced it firsthand, years before. The youngest and boldest captain in the Spartan army, Kratos inspired fierce loyalty in his men. It had always been enough to carry them through any battle, until this day.
I wonder how many people have said The Rock should play Kratos in a movie.
Just about everyone.
And
I would have to imagine.
Without
For a
mercy.
while, there were rumors that he was attached to do the original, back in the early
The battle
2000s,
lasted
when they were like,
hours.
"Oh, this game is really popular. It's getting a movie."
It was certainly
between him and Vin
yeah.
Diesel.
Vin Diesel to this day, the poor man's Rock.
Spartans did little to stem the tide of the merciless.
Well, the pair of them have infamously disliked each other for decades.
Yep.
The
They
soldiers
can't even be in the same scenes in Fast and the Furious anymore.
their young captain faced the end of his brilliant career.
Both of
And his
them
life.
are like, no, there's no beef
But to
between
Kratos,
us. We just
victory
don't
was
want to
worth
be
any
anywhere
price.
near each other.
Yeah.
Even his soul.
You just need to have exactly the same number of victories in all of our films, and you can count them as a viewer.
My life is yours.
Which is funny because the Fast and the Furious is definitely more of a Vin Diesel series than
That
a
desperate
Dwayne "The
call
Rock"
for
Johnson
aid
series.
would come to
Oh,
haunt
certainly.
Kratos for all his
Like,
days.
he's been there from the start.
By the
The Rock
I think he's a
Johnny
like
come later.
producer on the series.
I become.
Yeah, all these bodies looking remarkably fresh.
Yep. And the chat makes a good point. All these people apparently got through the Atlas puzzle.
And then reset it just for the next person because they're dicks.
I'm glad they're dead.
You're all dead.
Yep. That cutscene was very, very grisly. Like, the attention to detail on the wounds was notably realistic.
Yeah, I remember the second game as well, because it's obviously with it being the next iteration, they're able to make things a bit shinier.
Yeah.
They start putting in bone fragments everywhere.
There's also a cutscene much earlier on where Kratos was like slashing people's heads off, and it too was like extremely realistic. His blade would go the exact distance that a blade swung at that velocity would go into a person's neck. Not all the way through like a cartoonish video game might depict.
No. We judged precisely how far the blade would go before it stopped by meat and bone.
Yep. We got out the ballistic gel, then we decided that wasn't realistic enough, so we brought out the pig corpses.
Back in the days when you could do that and it didn't result in your boys getting PTSD from looking at wounds.
Yep.
Yes, Neil Druckmann, I'm talking about you again.
You do have to wonder how Jaffe could be so immersed in such brutality for such a long time throughout the, 4-year development process of this game. And be that desensitized.
I imagine he was one of those guys who would go to Ogrish and be like, they don't go far enough.
Yep. Seems about right.
Like, there is no way he was not one of those late 90s, early 2000s internet edgelords.
Yeah. I mean, I was, so...
Yeah.
The guy who made God of War must be.
Well, I mean, if we're bad enough, or we were bad enough as it was, if you're the guy who makes God of War, you've got to go further. Yeah. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes.
Guy who was proud of animating a preacher drowning a baby in Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah, I vaguely remember there was an interview where came out round about, I think back in EGM at the time, when he was asked, just after the release of Twisted Metal Black, like, did you have to take anything out? Was there ever a point when you were afraid that you were going too far? And he was basically like, absolutely not. We wanted to go further, but Sony were a bunch of pussies. And, then 9/11 happened.
Yep. The one I had pretty much every issue of was called Inquest, and it was for, magic cars and shit. Yep, it's the Buster Keaton solution.
Okay.
It's a lot sillier than I expected from God of War, but it seems to work.
It's a bit of not in keeping with it.
And having to wait for it to come around is a real pain in the ass, and then it just drops anyway.
I'm surprised that neither of us remembered that.
Yep.
Or how weird it was.
And then the rolling ball just goes away. Nonsense.
This is just like Chris just looking at the ladder like, what the fuck, man?
What was this mechanism, Pandora? What were you thinking?
Just standing there like, I really hope I don't meet this Pandora girl, because I'm gonna have some choice words for her.
No kidding. We'll top off the health. Surely they're about to throw me into some bullshit mega combat situation.
Well, you've had your 2 or 3 sections of puzzles and platforming, so now naturally comes the next combat challenge.
I can only assume. The challenge of Poseidon.
Hey! Oh, okay, this is where you get Poseidon's trident.
Yep.
It lets you swim properly.
That makes sense. Oh,
Hey!
cute doggy.
A good heckin' doggo.
I've been playing Inscription, where all the like pups transform into giant monsters like this. God of War has been playing Inscription as well.
There was actually one of the original design ideas for this was that Kratos would have a cute little dog that would follow him throughout the game and would occasionally attack enemies. Basically what they did to his son in the reboot. And at the end it would turn into Cerberus and you would have to kill it. And they were like, no, for one thing, there's no way in hell Kratos would like having a pet. Like, no one can picture that.
Yep.
And for another, that's just too manipulative.
Yeah. It would ruin the tone of the whole game, and then it would piss people off who liked it.
Yep.
No one wins.
Funniest thing is, though, when you grab the Cerberus pups, you just put them at whatever's nearby.
Let's give that a shot. Oh, I can't. I've got the murder weapon.
Use the blades.
Yeah, I just keep spiking them. Bad dog.
I think you can definitely do it in the second game. The third game gives you an achievement for it. I think it's called something like Puppy Kicker.
Of
you
course.
need to put 50 Cerberus pups throughout the entire game. It's horrible and hilarious.
They're starting to evolve. I guess it's been more than one turn. Twitter would have a field day with this game today.
Oh, yeah.
You can pet the dog?
I mean-
No. You can crush the dog.
I mean, they had a field day with the God of Us reboot, but that was just mostly calling Kratos daddy.
Yep.
And going, boy.
These days, if you have a dog, you have to pet it. It is the video game rule.
I think I mentioned a stream or two back, but someone said that the Can You Pet the Dog Twitter has accidentally become one of the most powerful Twitters on the internet.
Yep.
Because games are deliberately putting in dog petting mechanics and just pet petting mechanics in general, so they can get a mention.
The demake of Bloodborne that I played through, it has a cheat code wherein you can pet the dogs instead of fighting them.
Didn't they also put in Bloodborne Cart, or is that being a separate project now?
That is a separate project. Still in development. It was going to be in the base game, but it ended up taking on a life of its own.
Yeah, I remember they were considering putting it in as an unlockable.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if because I'd heard that they were making it its own thing as well.
Yep. Yeah, she was making trans flag skins for the hunter to wear and stuff like that. All sorts of stuff just to troll gamers.
I was going to say just to piss people off, because I'm sure
Exactly.
it's gone down well.
The release trailer, the top comment, which is pinned by the developer, just says trans rights. And apparently she gets like hundreds of hate mail messages, all as replies to that specific comment, which she can then easily ban.
Well, I
Jeez.
for one am shocked.
She has localized the hatred.
Are you telling me people on the internet vociferously dislike completely innocent statements such
Yep.
as just the words trans and rights? I am shocked.
The dogs evolved already.
I think there can only be a maximum of 2 or 3 big Cerberuses on screen at any one time.
I would hope so.
That just means you need to take out the puppies as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, one wipe, you kill one of them, and one of the others is like, oh, time to grow up.
And keep vomiting new ones. Come on. Yep, here comes another puke.
I think maybe the Blades of Chaos might be better for these guys, because you need to get really close for them.
Yeah, I mean, nothing seems to work.
Did you just deflect one of the fireballs?
I most certainly did send something into space a moment ago.
Yeah.
And now I have no HP. Correct choice there, Kratos. Now to get shot in the back while I'm opening this chest. Okay. They were very polite. Good dogs.
That puppy was pounding up to you, though.
Yep.
That old guy was like, hugs! Violent hugs!
Another one. This fight sucks.
The second game is also a lot better about, like, the range that you can do QTEs from.
Yeah.
This one you practically need to be brushing up against a nipple hair to do it.
They just puked like 3 dogs in a row.
Big deal, I did that last Wednesday.
I'm sure you did. Okay. There, we stabbed the main head right off.
And kill those doggos.
There goes the last little one. You probably have one more QT left in you and you're done for.
You've done at least one QTE on each one.
Yeah. Okay, it just died.
Oh, thank God.
Good riddance to what is sure to be a regular enemy soon enough that we're going to fight a million of. Pretty sure I came from that direction.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Block moving puzzle.
Yay!
Guarded by
Oh, wow.
Cyclopses.
That kick just reminds me of those videos of the cats trying to do an epic leap onto a door frame and their legs just going whoop from under them.
Yep. These guys are nice and slow, so
Yeah.
try the big sword on them.
It wasn't really until the later games that they started doing like, yeah, some weapons are genuinely better against different foes. With this, it's just like, do you want to smack him from a range, or do you want to get up close?
Yep.
And also the fact that you can only destroy shields with the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, they just do not want you using this new sword the way I want to use it.
But I want to use it this way.
Yep. Just keep hacking, don't even worry about the QTE. This is going to take a while.
Yeah, this bit I get the feeling is going to be a total pain in the ass.
So there's a ledge up ahead that I can't move over. This brick.
Let the rage of the gods drive your blades, Kratos.
Seems like I'm just using this for cover.
Seems like.
But the arrows explode.
Doing much good.
Yeah, exactly. Arrows explode, so it doesn't matter. charge in. Screw the box.
Hey, look. Did that so much quicker and probably with less health loss.
Yep. More dogs. Don't even think about evolving. Where they spin through the air. So sadistic.
They spin through the air to attack you, and then they spin through the air in the opposite direction as you blade them in the face.
Yep. Pull these guys over and summon more dogs. Of course. Dogs and snipers. Everybody wants a piece. Give him a quick sock in the gut before ripping him in half.
Just seems needlessly cruel.
Yep.
It's like breaking someone's nose before cutting their head off. Like, why? Just to be a dick.
There we go. Dog stomp.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Not quite sure what happened there.
Me neither. You know, we're still not past the Rings of Pandora. So we still can't swim. Yeah. It just keeps going. Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, each of these, you've got a very, very limited time frame to get the goodies.
Yep.
It's really not worth it.
Clearly.
There's
Not gonna
one
bother
or
with that
two health upgrades and magic upgrades you can get in here, because it needs to go a complete, like, it can go a complete 360 degrees.
Yeah. Okay, there is a hint in that there are spikes before the thing all closes.
Yeah, you literally have just enough time to get each one,
Yeah.
but you need to be stupidly precise.
There's only like a few hundred red orbs in each of those chests.
These ones might have a bit more, I'm not sure.
So far, it's been very pointless to open red chests.
Yeah.
Especially when it might kill ya. So this is just the part where you can put down your controller, take a little nap. Breaking statues for no reason. Here's a big chain.
Not the Chain of Olympus, unfortunately.
Tragic.
It's not the third game.
The third PSP game.
No, well, it's called Chain of Olympus, but the actual Chain of Olympus shows up in the third one.
Nice.
You have to break it. It's awesome.
Because I know that PSP game is a prequel to the first game.
Yep. The first one... Well, I think both of the PSP games are prequels.
Yeah.
And the second one sets up a few bits and pieces that are featured in the third one. Like the second one, I think it's the second one, you kill Persephone, Hades' wife. And in the third game, you fight him. He's like, well, why do I hate you? Let's see. You killed several of my friends, murdered my brother, killed my wife, can't forget about that. And you're trying to kill me, so... yeah, I'm gonna have to put you down and plant you like corn.
Yep. Kratos always surprised. And the consequences of his own actions come back to bite him.
In fairness, in the third game, he does say to the gods, like, get out of my way and you won't be harmed. And the only god in the game who does that is Aphrodite. She doesn't try and stop them, and she's the only one who, well, her and Athena are the only two which survive the plot of the game.
It's like he realizes his own main character syndrome.
Basically, yeah.
Because anyone who goes up against him, even if it's a literal god, they're going to die for plot reasons.
Yep.
He's realized this
yeah,
by the third game.
It's surprising. Ah, yeah, there you go. Muse keys. It's surprising that you get to the third game and it's like, huh, he actually kept his word. What the fuck?
Surely there's something over this way, yeah. Go past this chain. There's Kronos down there.
Hi, Kronos. Back to you later, buddy.
Yep. Very impressive visual set piece. This is why they made us watch it for so long.
Yep. Also heavily covered in sand and fog so that you can't see. He's made up of like 12 polygons.
Yeah. There are a lot of games that make you just, like, stare at a thing for a little while just because it's really, really visually impressive and they're proud of it. But usually an entire, like, 80-hour game will have one of those. God of War's had, like, 10 already.
Yeah. And we're not even through, like, the
So
third of the game.
Yeah. There's no way I have to fight these guys.
Oh, smashy the statues.
Think. Got some red orbs. It's fun and all.
It must be late. The later games tend to hide things behind them.
Ah. There have been one or two spots where there has been like a secret path behind a destructible thing. Surely there have been plenty more that I missed.
Yep. They get really bad for that later on. The indoor water feature of Poseidon.
Yep. Worth its own camera angle.
Totally not important, you guys. I mean, really.
Oh, the crank is missing its handle. My favorite words in the entire world.
I need a rusted key to operate this one. Okay, what are the odds you're going to need to push something up this incline?
I'd say very, very high. Hey, crank handle. Doesn't even belong to Atlas. What a ripoff.
It's a Unfortunately, it's a hexagonal crank from Resident Evil, and thus does you no good whatsoever.
Sacrifice the ultimate.
Oh no, you're gonna have to bring out the Giga Chad.
That did... Bumping, one assumes. And apparently whatever this guy sacrificed wasn't enough, even though he's dead.
His butthole.
Must be.
Just put a knife on the table between them and like, you know what to do.
Let's see what this crank handle does. Brings one soldier down. But he's still in his cage. I guess we're gonna have to drag him over to the incinerator.
Oh, thank the gods you've come. Break these bars. Get me out of here. Well, what are you waiting for?
You got the wrong guy.
We can find our way back to Athens.
The gods did
I think that's Rob Paulsen.
from all of us.
Oh, please. No.
Oh, that's definitely Rob
Yep,
Paulsen.
that definitely is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, please. Let me out of here.
That's
an uncharacteristically serious role for him.
yeah. Let's hear his screams of agony as we burn him alive. Role of a lifetime for old Rob Paulsen.
Yeah, you have to put the box on the little
Free me.
stoppy things while you kill things.
Yeah.
And then burn him alive.
Free me. You must set me free.
I must do no such thing.
Yeah, I'm basically the demigod of murder, not freedom.
Thought he was on a
That
fucking
was
roller coaster.
way too silly.
Yep. Someone changed that voice clip with Rob Paulsen saying "we," which I'm sure is recorded 1,000 times over.
No, just change it for any line from Animaniacs.
Yep.
Just he's sliding down, he starts saying, "Nice lady!"
No, I said fingerprints.
Good night, everybody.
That one is Dot's line, though, so that would be kind of distracting if we splice that in.
Keep me out of there! No!
That's never not gonna be funny.
Save me, zombies.
If you get, like, any sound effects for when people donate or follow the channel, it needs to be that.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great idea.
Someone subscribed. Nerd!
Whatever deity demands a sacrifice really just also wants to make it a pain in the ass. Like other games would be like, you have to do this horrible, immoral act, and that is the challenge. Actually pressing the button. But no. This time you gotta kill 10 consecutive zombies, in addition to the human sacrifice.
I'm starting to wonder if they're not infinitely respawning at this point.
They might be. Those tend to keep happening. In this video game.
Yeah, and
We're
you're
pretty
not
close
supposed to lure them down to the bottom and then run back up, because they are significantly slower.
Yeah. Just to be safe, we will get grabbed. Perfect.
Yeah, the bad guy's just like, nope.
They're right on my heels. I
Okay,
don't
that
think this is
one
gonna
guy
work.
is just fucking booking it.
Keep me out of there! No!
Yeah, we made it to the top of the hill. It counts.
Just close enough.
No!
Freeze everybody. I'm out of freeze juice. I could get some more from the chest there. I could use health too. Why not?
Really, no wrong answer there.
Keep grabbing me.
Very rude.
Let me perform a human sacrifice. Come on. I'd let you do it.
Not in that room!
Look, you guys haven't seen Midsummer, but trust me, this shit is friggin' awesome.
Oh, please, no. Gods on high, save me from this barbarian! Please! Please!
Now the gods love this shit. Bring out the cooking, and there we go.
And now he's gone to the rotisserie machine.
Extra crispy, Paulsen. Kratos doesn't bat an eye.
He's just like, I wanted him to suffer more.
Yep. It's supposed to be so horrifying that someone would rather die than do it. Kratos doesn't care at all. Probably not even the worst thing we've done so far in the game.
Definitely not even in the top 10 in the trilogy.
Yep.
That's not including the spin-offs.
There we go. More
Thankfully, this is one of the few things you keep between games.
nice.
Sorry, I was watching a video earlier, and right in the middle of it, they suddenly do an ad for Manscaping, and I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure what this has to do with Resident Evil 5, but let's just go with it, see what happens.
Go to scrotum.tmi for your free sample package. Anyway, last time we used the fires from this very title screen to immolate Robert Paulsen's cameo character.
Yep, and we unlocked the power of holding our breath.
Indeed.
Kratos couldn't do that beforehand.
Ironically, burning a man alive taught us how to swim.
You know, there's probably some poetry in that, but it's like some weird 50s beat poetry shit that no one can understand.
Yeah. One almost imagines that they simply didn't think about the weird counter implications to those two juxtaposed facts.
Nah, they were too busy thinking about how God of War's going to kick your ass and, you know, punch your tits to Saturn or whatever.
Yep. David Jaffe is going to make you his bitch.
Which is ironic because life did that to David Jaffe.
Hey, magic level up. Sacrifice to Phoenix. Now we have to wait for our mana bar to refill very, very, very slowly.
I always forget how long this takes.
As if all the animations in this game weren't indulgent enough already. They gotta do that to me. Grab the ladder. You can do it, Kratos. I just saw you do this.
Come on, buddy. You can do it.
There. You wouldn't touch it from the water.
That counts, I suppose. Okay, now I'm trying to picture Kratos jumping, like getting out of a pool, and it's something, I can tell you.
Yep. Has to make an Olympic sport out of everything, this guy.
Such a drama queen.
Yep. Press and hold R1 to do something. Didn't hold it long enough, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the exact same as when you're kicking something.
Yep. Kazooie had to wait, like, until halfway through the second game before she learned how to do this. So impressive, Kratos. You actually beat another video game character to the punch for once.
My special puppies.
Yep. This is a lot of them. Some of them are probably going to evolve.
Oh, yeah.
What if I can help?
Apparently, there can only ever be 2 Cerberus on 3 fully grown ones at any one time. But multiple ones can evolve over the course of the battle.
Yeah. At least they don't make you fight 3 at once.
Yeah, no, the game is punishing, but it's merciful in some respects.
Yep. There's a distinct 6 heads per body limit.
Only 10 body parts per... No, yeah, 10 body parts per combat sequence.
I'll let you take care of the limb math while I am slicing up dogs.
I can't. I never learned how to read.
Failed your ancient Greek anatomy lessons.
Yeah.
Greatest shame of all.
Kind of stopped at sword goes into squishy meat that screams and bleeds.
Indeed.
Didn't really need to learn much more than that.
Yep. Now we're going to be punished for losing so much health because it's going to make this whole animation last that much longer.
Yeah, we've forgotten that Ares is literally destroying an entire city. Like, while we wait for this.
Every passing second, he stomps another 1,000 houses.
Actually, didn't they say it took like a week for Kratos to get up to the temple?
I believe it.
So, like, what was Ares doing that entire time? Just kicking rubble and ashes?
Yeah, I mean, the whole time we were in Athens ourselves, he made it from the first spot where we saw him to about 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Literally like 6 steps for him.
Basically went about 3 blocks.
Yep. So for a 1,000-foot tall man, he really takes his time. Indulges every individual murder.
Picking guys up going, I'm crashing your head. That he can actually do that.
Yep. There's no way I have to fight this thing. Can't put a red barrier over these bricks. I'd like to see him try. And that is the God of War equivalent of petting the dog. Not murdering
Smacking it in the face and walking away.
Yep. I kind of figured the first two would have led back to the Rings of Pandora, where we saw a tube a while ago, but apparently we need to go through more tubes.
Yeah, at this point you think, oh, it's going to start being about Metroidvania, and we'll have to actually start going back and forth between areas, but not really.
Yeah, no, I expect this to be as linear as it gets.
Yeah, it's Metroidvania in that it's very, very loosely. There is some degree of backtracking, but not particularly much.
What is this Naiad doing here? Just showing off some lighting effects?
I remember there's something you have to do with her.
I can punch her.
You might need the both Muse keys or something, or there's another pickup that you need to get.
Yeah, my only underwater attack doesn't seem to murder her. Oh, I can do an underwater hug. There we go.
Ah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, that was worth it.
Well, she seemed to enjoy it, at least.
Kratos gets a smooch.
Surprisingly chaste for him.
Indeed. He's only been swimming for 5 minutes. He hasn't mastered the water of, submerged fucking.
Thank God for that.
Indeed. They're saving that minigame for the second game. This looks like a puzzle. Oh, 2 naiads. Do I need to embrace 2 of them?
Yeah, you need to... I remember there's a couple of them at least that you need to give the big smoochie to.
There we go. And we randomly get a phoenix feather, why not? That's the point, just collectibles.
Yeah. I remember them being in the game, I just didn't remember what you actually did with them beyond... well, that.
Yeah, I don't remember them at all. All new to me.
It's like
I may not have figured out how to kiss them in my original playthrough.
Like, with the Muse keys, I remember there's like a thing you do with them.
Yeah. But it's on the secret unlockables menu, so it probably is optional. I'm willing to bet.
It's probably unlocking more of the post-game combat trials.
Yeah. There's only 2 in the game, and we got one of them, so
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
The post-game trials, complete bullshit. Did not even like
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to stream them. They exist for 2005 players, and no thank you. Not these days. Back when you had to have a certain playtime before your game was even allowed on shelves. Led to a lot of terrible game design decisions.
Yep. Lots of padding, backtracking.
Yeah, just make your game as unfun as possible so that it will sell better, ironically. Here we have the Hall of Pots. Link would
Pots
be
of what?
having a field day.
What is this, Dark Souls?
There's another Muse key. I guess we've got them all. Maybe we will.
Yay!
Check out the post-game content. Just progressively harder sex scenes, I have to imagine.
Just by the time you get to the 10th one, everything around you is on fire.
Yep. There's 100 women in the bed. Every one of them requires a different QTE to please.
Some of them are just skydiving onto you. Oh,
top of that
okay.
one.
Apparently, do you want me to spoil what the Muse keys do?
Is it, like, interesting, or is it just bonus crap?
It's not post-game stuff. It's actually kind of useful.
Sure, fire away. Oh, we're going through the Event Horizon room.
Ooh, spiky.
Yep, and Blady. Oh, I'm dead.
Okay.
So we got time. Carry on. Makes a certain amount of sense. Okay. Repeatedly using the charge gets you through that room. Otherwise you get sliced and stabbed. We should be going back to the Rings of Pandora momentarily. So I guess I will go to the Outer Ring and check it out.
Doesn't say, like, if you need to have nearly finished it or what. But...
More than likely, we're just going to have to spin the room around. It's very tedious, slow animation for a super long time. Combat is also shallow that it ends up being like the low point of this action game.
Yeah, it does get a lot better in later games, but when you're looking back at this one, there's not too much to it.
Yep.
Like, with 2 weapons and 4 spells you wind up getting?
Yeah.
Let the rage of the gods drive your blade.
David Jaffe's not a character action guy.
Gratefully didn't put Kratos in a monster truck at some point.
Yep. If only he had. That guy chopped in half on a delayed reaction.
This is the part where you fall down.
Speed this up. The automatic win button.
but I remember Rage of the Gods taking a lot longer to charge up than you've gotten it this time.
It did still take a long time, but we do get to fire it off fairly often.
Yeah. I wonder if that was something that was changed for the European editions, because they used to make quite big sweeping changes between releases.
Quite possibly. I mean, anything's possible with how much I've seen them change European editions.
I was saying the other day, remember that back in the days when it would, like a big game would get released in Japan and, you know, it would be at least 6 to 8 months before it came out in the West? And then you were extremely lucky if it came out in Europe at all.
Yeah. I always look up release dates when I am researching a game. And there's often a ridiculous disparity of like years at a time sometimes. Between one region and another. Kinda thought the Event Horizon room would not proc a second time, but there we go.
I think that's the first time that's actually happened, where you've had to do the exact same thing going through.
Yeah.
So the last couple of times you've had to do something like that. Actually, no, there was also the Razor Wagon Wheel room as well.
Yeah. There's a room with crushers and a conveyor belt, but when you do it in reverse, it's much more difficult because you're fighting the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So that was actually different.
Yeah, that one I would accept as, you know, being a legitimate challenge.
Yeah. The other one was just test your memory from 5 minutes ago. We need to just stop and look at every single statue, Kratos. Admire them all.
It's funny because the stream hitched there for a second, so we just stopped it. It's a statue. Yes, I can see that.
It is the kind of intellectual engagement that Kratos has with the gods and basically everything that he sees and does.
You can't kill it, eat it, or fuck it, he's not interested.
Indeed. Definitely gonna see if we have enough for an upgrade after I open all these chests.
You've got, like, what, 3 bars of experience right there.
Yeah. 22 total bars for... I think. Yeah, we're still ways off. Maybe we can do more on the Blades of Chaos, but... nah. It's time to go all in.
Blades. This is Sword Town now.
Yeah, exactly. I was go all in on one thing. Then when that thing stops working, I am fucked.
Thankfully, for the most part, it's just certain moves that you need with the Blades of Chaos.
Yep.
It's not like the Devil May Cry reboot where you had to have certain weapons in order to defeat certain enemies.
Sure, this is gonna smash us. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I was waiting on that.
Took long enough.
You haven't... it's put you back before you got the experience swords and all that.
God damn it.
Yeah. I was keeping an eye just in case.
Oh, what the hell?
Ah!
They didn't make this actually 2D, so there are parts of the wall where you cannot descend, even when you're in the divot.
Well, that is bullshit.
Yep, I hate it. There's a case where they actually could have learned a lesson from Splatterhouse 2010. I mean, they couldn't have because it came out 5 years later, but Splatterhouse 2010 did it better.
Like the first time I said that about Splatterhouse 2010.
I mean, I say it all the time, but I am the exception.
Yes, but you're an outlier, and that shouldn't be counted.
Indeed. Now we're arbitrarily locked in here.
The sauna room of Poseidon.
Here's something. Diablo's here. Okay, it's a Minotaur. I only saw it from behind and it looked like Diablo.
Spiky boys.
Once they start blocking, they're just going to keep blocking.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
One thing the God of War games doesn't really do is stuff like guard breakers.
Yeah. They might be unlockable, but it doesn't seem to be a thing in this game.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're keeping up with upgrades for the Blades of Chaos, you don't even get a parry or a counter attack for like a good third of the game.
Yep.
And that's if you're upgrading the blades to the exclusivity of everything else.
I mean, we did unlock the parry. It's level 3, but it's useless. We tested it out.
Yeah.
It's just a regular attack.
Yeah, like I said last time, it's not really until you get to the second game that you get a higher work with damage.
Yep.
And the third one, it just gets an even bigger boost and becomes ridiculously overpowered.
Once those guys are off their feet, they are completely helpless. But getting them there is a pain.
Like really ugly puppies.
Yep.
Now ascend to the whirlpool bath of Pandora.
Damn it all.
God damn it.
Why would you make that timed? It's not a challenge at all.
No. Plus, there's also no like ticking clock like there is in most of these puzzles.
Yep. Just there to be annoying. Or I guess if we get knocked down, we'll be double punished.
Yep. Because I would bet good money that these guys do not, if you beat the crap out of them and get knocked down, they will respawn with full health. I would bet
Awesome.
good money on that being the case.
Seems like with previous combat encounters, they did keep health values, even if you left the room and came back. But I have not been paying enough attention. Most of the time we've either been locked into combat or I just run away from it. So if they don't lock the door, I'm not going to bother.
Ancient Greek arc, the Greek arc of nope.
Amphitheater, Poseidon's faithful wife.
She doesn't know about his girlfriends, though, does she?
Apparently not. There's a secret way out, eh? Okay, it doesn't involve slashing her feet.
Oh, I think I know this one.
They managed to make the irritating stairs room even more irritating.
Game design.
Yep. Yeah, like that's just begging for us to go in, but here's the real elevator, of course.
Ah, there we go.
Definitely a fantastic animation.
So dumb.
That's the closest the camera has.
Basketball.
Yep, that's the closest the camera has ever been, and it was to show off that.
Couldn't have had like a cinematic camera angle of him coming out the bottom. Oh no.
Oh, this room.
Back to here.
Yep. We always end up in this room. Presumably there's still no reason to activate the laser.
So if I remember right, it needs to go straight through to the heart of the labyrinth. So.
Yeah. Now, we did get, in the submerged part, is a big statue, rather than another ring. So presumably we are at the center. We just need to do a few more forced combat encounters and we're there. Let's do our Conan the Barbarian. Rotating the thing forever.
The Wheel of Pain.
Yep.
Ah, yeah, this thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Looks like it's just the free shit room. Slash scary faces room. Getting vomited on gets something. Gift of magic. Thank you, Zeus Vomit.
So even though this is Greece, would this count as a Roman shower?
Quite possibly. They love their vomitoriums. Which, of course, never involved actual vomit.
No.
Yeah, they were called that because people spewed out of them en masse in a manner that resembled vomit.
Yep. It was just the index point.
Indeed. One more deity shower. What could this get us? Abilities. Oh, many, many, many more red orbs. Glorious. See, we were supposed to do this. The gods would have been angry at us if we hadn't used an FAQ to find where it was.
Check how much you've got now. You should be closer to leveling up. Yep, very close.
250 away.
One good combat encounter.
One would hope. So we should be able to do something here? No. Must be open from inside the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you remember, that's where the water is, so you need to climb up the stairway here.
Yep. Once I find it.
It's going to be that you came in the room just like 5 foot away from it, because it was off camera, you couldn't see.
Indeed. Also, these statues that are holding up archways, they look like the mannequin piss statue. Oh, I'm gonna have to go through the hole in the floor, aren't I?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yep, there's a thing here. Can't activate it because it's submerged. So down we go.
That jewel-encrusted skull, I think, is what you're aiming the laser beam at.
Mm-hmm. Well, we opened one of those before. So maybe when we open the second one, it will accept lasers.
Please accept this gift of laser.
Okay, things are fiery again. Who knows what Water God will go up against now?
I'm sure there's nothing dangerous trapped behind that giant door the size of a Titan.
Yep. Seems fine. They adorn things with the symbol of the Minotaur just for funsies.
Yeah, it's like the cool S.
Yeah, exactly.
It shows up everywhere, you know, no big deal. Don't make anything of it. Don't you fucking look behind that fucking door, I swear to God.
I would never.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember this bit.
Oh, of course. I suspected that might be a breakable wall, but I thought that would be too dumb.
At the very least, I would have thought they'd make it a bit more obvious.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because that was pretty well hidden for this game.
Like, I noticed it in the camera the first time through, but I was like, surely they wouldn't make that tiny little sliver of rock a breakable entrance. Kratos wouldn't even be able to fit through
I did
it.
not notice it at all.
Blood pool.
The blood spa of Hades.
Yep. There is flaming lava in here. It should not be suitable for swimming.
It reminds me of Shadow Man, if you ever played that.
I am familiar with it from Super Great Friends Let's Play.
Yeah, and they actually did a version of the remaster, if you haven't seen that one.
Yep, I did see that one as well.
But yeah, Dead Side, where most of the gameplay happens, all the water is replaced with blood. So you're just swimming through great pools of blood everywhere.
Yeah. And eventually lava. But you have to get tattoos.
That's right, yep. It's pretty metal.
Okay. They're likely to be eaten by a Gru if we go in there. So we cannot. Where's the tiny sliver of breakable rock around here? Yep.
Oh wait, it looks like there's a thing you can jump up to there.
Yeah, this outcropping. There we go. Blends into the wall very well.
Yeah.
They're doing that a lot. That's their puzzle these days.
Yeah, I do not remember the textures being this muddy. But then again, I also remembered, Final Fantasy VII looking fantastic, so...
Yeah.
Presumably, memories are flawed.
Yep. But this is, like, super scaled up, as much as a PS2 game can be. So, initial players on CRT TVs did not have these advantages.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why these guys look like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Doesn't seem necessary. I guess I gotta kill them over here.
Fairly certain. Which is difficult because I remember the centaurs being some of the nastiest enemies in the game.
They're certainly not inclined to stay where I can fight them. And I don't... Okay, we got one of the dots lit up. That did count. Stay there. Put away your bows. Down. Okay, it did.
Okay, yeah, that was a close one.
Yeah. And I'm out of ammo. My Gorgon head.
Sad to say, I reckon you're going to have to break out the chains for this.
Eh. Okay, we got one critical range, but outside of the ring. There we go.
Yay!
What the hell? It didn't work.
I think we got an assist from a friend.
Oh, also, they don't die from their QTE. They just get stunned, and then... Okay, this one's dying. A millimeter outside of the ring. We found the limits. Wish we hadn't.
The game was just like, nah, you pushed it too far.
Yep. That one definitely was in the ring, though. Oh my god. There's another ring.
Of course there is.
And this is what these health chests were for. Wouldn't mind a mana chest. The Centaur body slam, which is pretty metal.
Kratos would have been big into the WWE back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah. Most of this section of the stream has been wrestling moves and shit. Okay, this one should kill him. Not sure. That's the one I softened up earlier, though. Didn't want to kill him outside the ring. That would have just been a waste. Okay, wouldn't have killed him. So, I guess I should have gone for it, but it's impossible to tell because they're all clones.
Yeah. I'd love to be able to see the damage data on this.
Yeah.
See like how much health they've got and how much they take from each attack.
Second and third. I'm on the ring. Doesn't count. No. Yeah, this sucks.
This wouldn't be so bad if there was just two of them at a time.
Yeah. Where's the suffering in that? That one was a death, surprisingly.
That's great.
One more of these things.
Let the rage of the gods drive your blades.
Good rage of the gods, but, you know, seems a waste at this point.
Yeah, you're almost done with that.
Yep. Just one kill left. This should be lethal-ish.
Last.
Yeah, one would hope. Okay, here we go. Definitely in the ring. We opened a door.
And then everyone just stands around like, is that it? Are we done here?
Yep. 8 elite servants of the gods. Opened one door. Figured this was climbable. I jumped at it several times and it didn't work. This wasn't jumping right. Yeah, we got our 10K. Let's make the Blade of Artemis ridiculous.
And then we find out it's got a level cap of 3.
Yep. I wouldn't mind hitting the level cap on this thing.
Yeah, but that leaves it no more room for growth.
True. But then I wouldn't have to hold this button for 2 consecutive minutes. Ever again. Yeah, there it is, maxed out. Wonderful. Hey, look at that.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, and it definitely got more curves in the blade.
Yeah,
You're right.
definitely bigger and pointier.
Yeah.
Actually, more meat cleavery.
Yeah. It actually looks less efficient, but slightly scarier.
There's a comic, webcomic I used to read. I can't remember what it was called. It was something like manliness is the best cure or something. Something to do with manliness. But at one point, it's a whole bunch of, uber manly characters like Kratos and Sten from Dragon Age, making fun of Dante from Devil May Cry. They're comparing swords, and Kratos is like, that thing looked grossly inefficient. You might as well have just welded a bunch of scrap iron to a stick.
What about Sparta?
Sparta was officially a very, very foppish dandy.
Well,
by
yeah.
the costumes. With the exception of DMC, where he looked like a barbecue dad. Wearing a green plaid shirt and everything. It's hilarious.
So I timed this jump right several times, and I'm not making it.
I think standing right the way over to the edge doesn't make any difference. Or to the side, I should say.
Okay, this is officially as far as I'll go, because Kratos won't run into the lava unless I hit the jump button. Get a running start.
Yeah, I think you need to jump.
Okay.
Yeah. Just right as it's coming together the third time.
Yeah, I mean, I nailed the timing and still fell in the lava. I guess I was jumping from slightly too far away once. Didn't have my running start first.
That's just cheating.
Yep. Let's see what 10,000 orbs will get you. A very quickly dead Gorgon.
That's what, 20 seconds as opposed to 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Definitely take that.
Real test is multiple groups of enemies.
Okay, they just fell apart like a bag of Lego.
Yeah. Now, they were the unarmored type, so they would have died pretty quick regardless, but it's definitely going much, much faster with the red sword. Yeah, this is about where I want to see a sword in a game like this.
Sword like that, you don't want to, wail on a guy for forever. You just want to beat them and they fall over and die.
Exactly. Really makes the Blades of Chaos look tiny and pathetic in comparison. Every time I see them on Kratos' back, they now look like little toys.
You know what you're doing there, Kratos, with the little yo-yo thingies? Little pointy yo-yos? You having fun, buddy? Yeah, you look like you're having fun.
The Chad Blade of Artemis. The Virgin. Blades of Chaos. More ridiculous architecture from old Kratos Verde III. Kill everyone in the maze. Damn it, it's a maze. I need to track down everybody.
Not particularly complex, maybe.
It's not, but at least it gives us a little progress meter for once. It seems like I should be able to get behind this thrusting implement straight out of Teosida, but Doesn't seem to be a way around there. Can't break those.
Was this going to be one of those things where the more enemies you kill, the more of the maze opens up?
That is entirely possible, terrifyingly enough. Okay. We've been there. Here's someone slavering. And centaurs also don't stand up in a certain way. Lucky us. They're still more than happy to stun lock me, though.
Remember, for the third game, when they were showing that off before release, one of the things that they were unjustifiably proud of, or maybe justifiably, I'm not quite sure, was that you could disembowel the centaur enemies. And in order to handle the guts falling out, they had to program a couple of subroutines for the engine to handle the organs spilling out onto the ground.
That's in keeping with the spirit of your God of Wars. Grant him that. Now, which body are they eviscerating, though? Human or the horse? Of course.
You knock them down, throw them onto the ground, and just rip across the stomach, and everything falls out.
Oh, what do you know?
Oh, fuck off. There's a fucking game, I swear.
It certainly is a thing.
Definitely recommend you upgrade the Poseidon Storm thing if you're not planning on using the Blade of Chaos, because you do use that quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true. It was on the expensive side, but nowhere near as expensive as maxing out this sword. Still someone making noises over here. And they're done.
Is that everyone? Can we go now? Is everybody happy?
Surely it must be. Oh my god. Okay. I thought there was still one symbol unlit.
Unless this is where you need to go through so you can get through the door.
I'll give it a shot. The thing
Or
is
could
lit
be
up.
unless it's like once you've killed everything, this just pulls back into the wall permanently.
You would hope. No. I mean, why? All the things are lit up. Hades, what is your goddamn problem? Won't go in.
You go split second there.
Like, I'm pushing into the door. Like, I'm clearly getting into the hallway there. But it's so shallow, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm in. What the fuck? I got pushed in by the Crusher. What?
Fucking fine, don't care, just kill everyone. We can get out of here.
I did the same thing I did the last 5 times I tried to get in that little hallway. This is...
Yeah, that just
worst.
seems needlessly complex.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like an emulation glitch, because like that is actually really, really bad. If that's the thing that doesn't happen on actual hardware, fine, but that's how that is programmed to work. What the fuck? You did not earn a big sting. I will say Hades looks like a SpongeBob SquarePants character. Look at him. You definitely see this being a robot that Plankton made.
Mr. Krabs had some issues after the divorce. Really got into black metal and Iron Maiden, and none of us were particularly happy about it.
Or just twist his head around. It's Kratos' solution for everything. And then what? You gonna light the thing up, or... I guess we're not supposed to spin his head around just yet.
Yeah, it's probably you need to light a fire or something.
Yeah. A lever down here. Yep.
Ah, there we go.
Turned him into a lighthouse.
Now we need to get him voiced. Now we need to get Kratos voiced by Willem Dafoe.
Now I'm not allowed to swim anymore. No more blood for me.
Just so you know, you're done with that, but please, for the love of God, carry on.
You could afford to do that more often.
After all that enforced backtracking with the maze, and now they're cutting you off.
Yep.
Seems a little bit wrong to me, but okay.
Yeah. Priorities are all screwed up in this game.
Okay, why does this look like a Mortal Kombat character reveal trailer?
I'd say they almost certainly drew influence. If not intentionally, then subliminally from Mortal Kombat here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that would be the pathway that it said it was too dark to go through.
Yep, indeed.
Oh great, now it's turned into Edge's castle.
Yep. And I'm dead.
I will say, it could be a lot worse. This could be wall-to-wall combat.
It's true. I'll take absolute silliness.
As much running the bulls as running the balls.
Yep.
Which leads me back to our sponsor, manscaping.com.
Are you sick of your balls being glowing, flaming red messes when you're done shaving them? Go to Manscaped. Scrotum.tmi.
Offer not open to gingers. You will always have to deal with burning hot ginger balls.
Yep. It's the fire crotch curse.
And hey, Art, good to see you.
Oh, hey.
Perfect timing.
Plus by a legitimate streamer. We'll be reading ads for dick pills soon enough.
It's an old handcrafted dick pills. Thank you.
Yep. I'm looking for... Okay, we can upgrade the Poseidon Rage. It's been a level 1 for far too long. Rapidly press circle.
Yeah, if you mash circle, then it does additional hits.
Yeah. Turn it into a Twisted Metal special.
Basically, yeah.
Great, more mazes. Hades is the god of being a real pain in the ass. Like, this is not a hint. He dead ends.
you actually do need to get up the hill. Or possibly
this
not.
wall. Yeah,
Oh, wait, I think there might have been doors along the side.
possibly.
Because I saw one or two slabs that looked like they might have had doors at the bottom, but...
Oh, this is definitely the door.
Yeah, not sure how you're supposed to do it with that bullshit happening.
Yep. Also, I forget which doors open with just holding R2 and which ones you have to hammer R2. I think this is the point you actually are supposed to get hit when you choose the wrong direction as a punishment. Those ones actually seem to be a little easier to get open. So there is that. And we're in. Another terrible puzzle.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the further in the game you get, the less playtested it was.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to the end, and it's infamously poor puzzles, or platforming segments, I should say, they were just basically like, is it crashing whenever people try and play it? No, good enough.
Yeah. Tested for functionality and not much more.
Basically.
I mean, I will applaud them for the sheer variety. There's a lot of different things happening at any given time.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not good things, but they're all worth a shot.
Fun.
Exactly. If you're going to have a different thing in every single room, some of them are going to be bad. Unfortunately, like, the majority are bad.
Yeah. So there's no point in having 5 different types of crap on offer when you're still offering people crap.
Yep. Didn't even realize this was a locked room.
So the archers are now falling apart in 2 hits.
Yep. 2 solid swings, and they are bisected. But of course, they introduce a new variety of Minotaur with even more lizard qualities, which takes
Bigger and
these.
spikier.
Yep. These take the standard amount of hits from our upgraded blade. So it's like we never got an upgrade at all.
Yeah, it's always fun playing a game where enemies scale with you.
Yep.
Remember, Dead Island was really terrible for that. You never actually felt like you were getting to a point where... it was a constant challenge throughout, but you never felt like there was a point where you're like, okay, I'm doing better. Everything took the same amount of damage.
Yeah. I've been playing Souls-like games for the first time ever, and they also feel like that sometimes.
What have you been playing?
Well, I got through Bloodborne PSX, which was very short, so I've only had that to a very limited degree. And I'm getting pretty deep into Salt and Sanctuary.
Yeah, I thought you meant you've been playing stuff other than what you've been talking about last time.
Not at all. Yeah, if it's not for a video, I don't have time to play it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I was playing Salt and Sanctuary a month or 2 ago, but I got to that inevitable point where you have like half a dozen different abilities unlocked and no idea where to go next.
Yep.
Yeah, Oblivion was probably the poster child for poor level scaling. Pretty much it was the first big game, as I recall, to really do it on any kind of serious level. It was really badly done.
Never heard that specific complaint about Oblivion, and I've heard a lot of complaints about Oblivion.
It's one of the ones I remember most clearly. Basically, whatever level you were in, but whatever level you were when you entered a new area, all the enemies would be locked to that level. So theoretically, there were a couple of workarounds, but theoretically you could go to ending areas without leveling up, and then, you know, after your world tour, go back, level up, and stomp over everything.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. I only ever played it with mods, and even then I didn't really get into it.
Yeah.
So there's never a problem that I encountered, but I know a lot of people did not like it.
I love the carousel now. We have our lightning activated.
Yeah, Kratos spins like a pretty little Pegasus in the middle.
Yep. Just dying for Wii sound effects.
Except he still has to have his manly voice on, so it's just him going, "Wee."
Yep.
I am having tremendous fun.
La dee da dee da.
And his son's at the side saying, "Dad, when is it my turn? When you learn to be a man."
You're lucky I don't chop your head off like I did with my last family.
Do you know what happened to your sister? I didn't even know I had a sister. Exactly. You know, I'm wondering if he ever told his second wife about what happened to his first family.
Yeah, like, that's...
I'm just going for fuck's sake, it was like 2,000 years ago. Do you think it really matters now?
Yeah, that's the one thing that interests me about the new series, is how they handle how much of a piece of shit Kratos used to be. Because I think they just have him have, like, a non-specifically haunted past. They don't really talk about it, but they make it clear that he is trying to redeem himself.
Yeah, the first half to 2/3 of it or so, they do not touch on his backstory whatsoever, other than he is a demigod. And then towards the end, the entire game's like, oh yeah, just so you know, this isn't a soft reboot. We are, like, everything is still in continuity. Like, it's a new setting and it's however many years later, but, you know, Kratos is still Kratos.
Yeah. Like, it still seems, for the most part, that it's God of War because God of War is the name that sells, but it's otherwise not really relevant to the overall character.
Yeah, I mean, there is a large part of that, but the backstory does come in.
Whee!
The backstory does feature into the plot more than you would initially think.
Yeah.
So it's not we have a new IP, but we need an old IP to make it sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
I wouldn't be
my
surprised
fear.
if that's how it started and they just added everything in retrospectively, because that's how games work these days.
Yeah.
But it's a lot better at that shit than you initially would suspect.
I mean, it's directed by the guy who directed God of War 2, so he definitely knows series lore, but if he wanted to make a new IP that was sold as like God of War, but in Norse mythology, I'm sure a producer said, just call it God of War, goddamn you.
Yeah. I mean, if you remember, the original plot for God of War 2 and 3 was meant to be Kratos slaughtering his way through the Norse and Egyptian pantheons. The end of the third game was supposed to be Kratos teaming up with presumably Thor and someone else. Basically his equivalents from the Norse and Egyptian pantheons. And wandering across the desert until they come across a barn in the middle of nowhere with a star hanging over it.
Well, they had me interested until that part.
He was going to be one of the three wise men. That didn't happen.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, presumably not just because it was completely stupid as hell, but also presumably because of the unfortunate implications that that means Christianity is the best.
Yep.
Such a dainty hop he did there.
Yep.
I know he's meant to be like properly jumping, but from the top down view, it looks like he's just giving a little skip.
And the Russian judges gave him a 10. Can't tell which are like respite platforms and which are secret platforms.
I think this one's a little obvious.
Yeah, that's true.
And as a reminder, when it comes to the balance beam sections, this is as easy as it's ever going to get.
Glorious.
I think the last 20% of the game is insufferable.
Looking forward to it. Because I hated this.
Oh no, this is easy peasy.
It is, but it's annoying, and it like tests skills that aren't relevant to the game.
Yeah.
Like, how close to the center of your controller can you keep your analog stick? Job well done. Don't touch those face buttons.
It would be better if it was like, which game was it where whenever you had to walk across balance beams, it was completely automated, but you had to judge like a wobble meter.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what it
Tony Hawk's
was?
Pro Skater?
I mean, similar principle, yeah. Bryn Cliffberg of War.
Yep. This will probably give me a hint. Oh no. There we go. Oh, this was all to activate the ballista.
Mm-hmm.
We did that like an hour ago.
Yeah. All I'll say is there's a point at the end of the game where we literally go to hell, and they freely admitted that they hadn't play tested it properly because the platforming challenges are atrocious. The final 3 boss fights, however, are fantastic, even today.
Yeah, I seem to recall the game like ending on such a strong note that it was still my favorite in the series, even after I played God of War 2. And that's just the illusion of game design is things end strong enough.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You put all the really good stuff at the beginning and the end, and then you make up a load of shit in the middle, because that doesn't matter.
Yeah, supposedly that's the like Yahtzee trick to game development.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of games where the middle part is completely intolerable, so I wouldn't give a shit how great the beginning and ending are. I still hate that game. Because people took that lesson to heart and made really bad games out of it. Okay, I gotta go knock on the door first. Then I can shoot a ballista at whatever's behind it.
Yeah. If I remember right, the ballista is instrumental in actually fighting the boss.
Yep. It's the Cyber Minotaur.
That's right, Pathos Verde III was really big into steampunk.
Yep.
Big fan of steam-powered giraffe.
Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is try and shoot it.
Yep, pay attention to the life bar at the top of the screen.
Climbed himself up. And then dodged it. What a dick.
I think you need to wave on him a bit first.
Yeah. Gonna try that now. And he's gonna punch the platform. we are opening the steam valves down here.
That was much quicker for some reason.
I mean, it was pretty quick when we were doing it on the upper platform.
I think you can get away with using the sword now.
Maybe. It is hitting him.
Seems like you
Open all of the steam
as well.
valves. Yeah. Sword made a mess of him. Rotate left analog stick to match on-screen prompts. So you'll have to pay attention to the kill animation itself to see if it is extra sadistic. I gotta watch a single circle on the screen, like a hawk. And now he wants to get shot.
The ballista.
Yeah. Yes. That'll deactivate 1 dot on his horns. Okay, 2 dots at least.
Yeah, give them their due. It is very cool how the life bar starts getting cracked.
Yeah. That much is well done. Not making it as easy to get to him as it was. But he's stun locked again. Yeah, completely stun locked.
I get the feeling the game wasn't designed with you having the maxed out blade this early.
Seems like it. It might be a little too strong for this boss at least. Once again discovered an exploit by enjoying weapons that actually work in a video game.
You're playing it wrong. Give me the controller.
Yep. That should kill the remaining 2 lights. There should be no more armor.
And he's a super creepy zombie underneath.
Yep. Didn't deactivate any lights at all.
No. Yeah, I think at this point you actually start hitting the armor off in there. Yeah,
yep, there we go. This will permanently disable this annoying armor.
I remember thinking at the time that this was very cool how you had to literally attack the life bar before you could actually do damage to it.
Yeah. It's well presented. Like, it is just an annoying boss that you have to fight for 4 minutes before you're allowed to fight it.
And yeah, now he does actually look like a cyber demon.
Yeah.
Just one that hasn't been hit in the gym. Too focused on leg day to do anything else.
Yeah. That is pretty egregious, though.
Massive legs. A little bitty torso.
Waits until the end of my lightning to attack me.
That very sporting of him. And it turns out when he shed all that armor, he got 3 times as fast.
Yep, no surprise there. shudder to think of where the boss checkpoint
Stop
might be.
giving you health back.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you have a boss checkpoint? Just in case he decides to drop a little extra magic, I'm gonna use this. Get him softened up. Now he's pinned. He can do a charge attack out of being pinned. I just hope that he won't.
I mean, you take off like nearly 3/4 of himself.
Yep. He's standing and fighting. Unwisely. Oh, and there's all my magic back. Oh, he needs another shot in the gut.
Now for the coup de grace.
It better be. You better explode into dust. Of like gory dust.
Slightly damp dust.
By coincidence, he kicked a little hole in the door.
How nice of him.
Yep. Look at that, the orbs are actually lying on the ground, waiting to be collected.
Speaking of Oblivion, this bit looks like one of the Oblivion towers.
Yep, certainly does. Should conclude the challenge of Hades, or whatever the hell it was called.
Yep. Until he pulls a Columbo and goes, just one more thing.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me, but this is the big shrine that should give us an ability afterwards.
That or it'll be the Skull of Pathos Verde the Third himself.
Oh yeah. I would accept that.
I think
Read a
we've got
book.
pretty much all the abilities in the game.
Nope. Second son.
Pathos Verde the Fourth Junior.
Yep. Pathos incredibly verdant. Now.
The final challenge is Kratos has to escape the Columbo dimension. Yeah, he's never getting away from that one.
Another Laffy Taffy spinal cord. Another Architect's son's head.
That's annoying because that's what the last one was called.
Yeah.
Should have the Architect's other son's head.
How far back do we have to go to actually plant the damn thing?
I have no idea.
We'll find out
We have to buy.
some other time.